They're alphabetical, I swear.
Number 2.
Number 2.
We swear it's alphabetical.
Or is it? Welcome to the Kindred Spirit Podcast, a program completely dedicated to the board game Spirit Island. On this show, we examine and discuss every aspect of the game, whether they be general tips, in-depth strategies, or silly shenanigans. Today, we're gonna have a fun thought exercise where we examine our thoughts and feelings about gift and boon cards in the game, and which ones are technically the quote-unquote best.
I didn't have a thought prepared. This episode is going to be a gift to the audience.
Hey! Are you with me, John?
I'm here. It's your fault for writing such good intros. I'm listening.
I just gotta make sure that you're with me here.
I'm listening. I'm like, oh, that is what we're gonna do.
Have you ever read a book or maybe listened to an audiobook and you thought about something else for just a moment, just a second? You realize, oh, I wasn't paying attention. I gotta rewind for the next
and you missed
5 seconds.
Yeah, the past 15
no.
seconds. Like, what did they say?
And then you do it again. I'm like, damn.
I just move on to the next chapter then. It's like, well, this is done. I need to pause the book.
There have been so many times, even on stage. Thankfully, I don't think it's ever happened during a song performance, but definitely times on stage where I was so caught in the moment, someone else's performance was so good. I was just watching
so good.
As if I was an audience member. I just happened to be on stage with them. I was like, that was great.
And then it gets silent
on
stage.
Line. Yeah. You're like, wow, this is pretty silent. Oh, it's my fault.
Yes, dear.
Totally been there. So, John, what is this episode about?
We are going to be talking about gift and boon cards in Spirit's Starting Hands. They're unique cards.
Oh.
This idea came about, I think we were chatting during the holiday season.
Yeah.
The holidays are coming up. We're buying gifts for family members and friends and stuff. I'm like, oh, we should do a rankings video. Almost like a tier list, but not of the spirits. We'll never give that to you.
Never say never.
Anyway, but the supportive part of this game and the gift part, so that's where
because the cooperative nature of the game is partly why it's so famous.
Yeah.
Right. And gift giving is something that's so personable. And there are so many gift cards and boon cards in this game that help other players. So this list that you wanted to do was specifically about the gift and boon cards that belong to spirits.
Yes.
Not the generic ones in the minor power and major power decks.
Because there's some good ones in those decks. So when you're playing a game, at times, because I've noticed this, you're playing with people, maybe there's 4 people, 3 people. Sometimes you can get very focused on your island tile and not look around. So sometimes these powers can force you to be who needs gift of proliferation? Who needs to be fast this turn? I like that nudge that the game that Eric gave us to be no, play with other people and make sure you're incorporating them into the game.
I remember asking you, just because of curiosity, why you wanted to start with these ones.
Yeah.
And I remember you told me, well, when it comes to the cool boons and gift cards that are in the major and minor power decks, there's a lot of really good ones in there that are amazing. But the thing is any one of those has a chance to never show up in your game.
Yeah.
But these boon and gift cards, if that spirit's in the game, then this card is guaranteed in the game. So you wanted to start, you wanted to start off with the ones that are guaranteed to be in the game, that you can count on. You can count on this one being in your game.
Because, yes, Element of Boon is incredible, but like you said, there's 100 minors. What if that's the bottom card in the deck, and you never get to it?
And it's quite possible you'll find a bunch, but it's the exact same amount of possibility that you won't.
But you start with Boon of Vigor, or Gift of Proliferation.
Gift of Abundance.
Gift of Abundance. Exaltation of Molten Stone. Jinx.
Hey!
You start with these cards so you can make powers fast. You can give energy. You don't need Gift of Constancy to give energy or something. Another thing, I've talked about in the past how I am a very competitive player when not playing cooperative games.
Sure.
I can Call of Duty, Halo, Overwatch, I can get really intense. So sometimes I take to the supportive role to take me out of that.
Okay.
Instead of me focusing on killing someone, it helps me to redirect my focus to booning, helping someone else. So that kind of takes me out of that killer mindset and more of a helper. So I kind of take two supportive aspects or supportive roles when I'm playing cooperative games.
I wonder subconsciously if your mind is drawn to those kind of play styles, because since you are such a competitive gamer, in a cooperative setting, the thing that is the most different for you is helping people.
It is.
And therefore, the reason why it is most interesting is because that's the thing that's the most different.
I'm usually trying to kill everyone around me. Honestly, you're like in a shooter
I
or
know.
something.
It just sounds. I'm usually trying to kill you.
Now I'm trying to not do that to help you grow, like
Right,
literally
yeah.
make you better.
Mm-hmm.
Disclaimer. So we were chatting about let's do the boon and gift powers, and
Sure.
then the innates got a little murky at times.
Yes. We were wondering, do we include the innates or
Yeah,
not?
because there's some great booning, gifting innates.
Because if we do cards, then we can do uniques, majors, and minors.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to take all day, and we wanted to focus on the ones that are guaranteed in your game so long as that spirit's there. Okay, cool.
Cool.
That'll be the cards. So then we're focusing on the spirits. Gotcha. Well, then if we're doing the spirits, why not do the innates? And so what we have for you today is a ranking of all of these boon and gift power cards that these spirits have. And we've ranked them from best to worst.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we started, we were like, what about the innates, though?
Because there's some strong innates.
So we actually started with putting the innates in that list.
We did.
So
I think it brought to like 27.
27.
Yeah.
Yep. It was 27 with the innates. And then we realized, hey, wait a minute. How do we rank them? Because some of these innates are so much better than a lot of the boon and gift cards. Makes sense because a lot of these innates at their ultimate are just so game-changing.
Serpents and innates. The left one, the gift one, the boon one, incredible.
Right. But I just said at their ultimate.
Wait.
At their maximum. So how do I rank? Do I do like, should I have 3 separate entries for like 1 innate? Because, innate level 1, innate level 2, innate level 3. So like,
Because what if you don't have it all of it triggered or activated?
That is making the assumption that every innate gets better with every level. Slip the Flow of Time is not like that.
True.
It doesn't get better.
It's different.
It's just different. And it doesn't happen sequentially.
Mm-hmm.
So do you see how we're like,
But slip the flow of time you can repeat, so does that make it better than something else?
And then there were a lot of implications that came with that. So like, okay, this power is so much better than that one.
Definitely.
But this one can happen all the time because it's an innate. So does that mean it's better than...
But this one is stronger even though it's not an innate, but you don't get to use it as much because it's not triggered by elements.
Right. And so this power, that is a card, is much better than that innate when that innate's at level 1. But this card is now worse than that same innate when that innate is at max level.
Yeah.
It quickly became apparent that we were looking at apples and oranges.
Yeah.
They're both fruits, they're both sweet, and oh so great, but they're not the same.
Not quite.
And perhaps another day we could talk about something like that, but we wanted to focus on just the uniques because of that. And I think that was a good idea. And it also brought down the list from 27 to 20.
And 20 is a nice even number.
Yep, it's a nice even number. You got like a top 10 and a bottom 10, if you want to look at it that way.
Sure.
And I'm just like, when it comes to these kind of lists, I'm just like so curious to see all the things. Because like we said in the past many times, the bottom, like very, very bottom few, we probably know.
Yeah,
the very top few,
the first one,
we probably know. But what about that middle?
What about the middle?
What about that middle?
What about 11?
That's right.
13.
Yep.
Who knows?
Yep. Now, one thing that's actually quite comedic is the energy levels that we've discussed in the past in the PSA talking about an upcoming episode was this one. The energy level for this topic that John has and mine are notably different. I'm not going to say like entirely different, but John is just like salivating.
Frothing at the mouth.
He is like, I'm getting texts, I'm getting calls, I'm getting messages on Discord I'm
like, I'm rethinking this card. Now I love it.
Look at what we're doing. After I ranked them, I noticed this, and I was like, dude, does my gut really agree with that? Is this okay with me?
Fiery Vengeance, number 1. John, come back to me.
And so, like, I'm...
Yeah.
Well, it's a fun thought exercise, but John's just like completely rabid for it. And so I have to admit, how do I accurately vocalize my misgivings about the topic?
Oh boy.
It's a fine topic. It's fine. I actually usually don't really appreciate or care about ranking a tier list or these kinds of lists on powers or power cards.
Okay.
I feel as if that's kind of pointless.
This is unique. I don't often see Boon gift card tier lists.
It sure is, because no one should even bother.
Because no one cares.
No one cares.
It's like gift of proliferation and the rest.
Featuring the rest of the deck. But the thing is it's completely dependent on context. Completely. And first off, 100% subjective.
Oh.
100%.
1,000,000%
There is
subjective.
only so much value in something that's subjective. At best, someone can be like, oh, I like to hear what they might think about it. That's really as valuable as this can be. But it's a fun thought exercise nonetheless.
Yes.
Because it completely depends on the context.
And like game experience too. Like
it depends on who you are, on who you're with,
preferences,
on who you're up against, what you're trying to go for, what you're good at.
No, this game's in a vacuum.
And not even who you are as a spirit, but you are as a player. Oh, I like to play fear spirits or defense spirits.
So Mantle of Dread might be higher because it gives fear.
Right. But I, as a human, also like to play a certain way. Mm-hmm. And I change that play style based on what humans I am playing with.
True.
But that also depends on the board state.
Yeah.
That also depends on the difficulty level. Are we going up against England 6? Because that's going to have
it changes
a
things.
changing factor versus Hepsbok 3. Like, there are so many freaking variables.
So many qualifiers here.
That, like, it's completely pointless. Because, like, I think if you give it context, sure, it can be better. And yes, I understand that some cards, based on the value that the card has for the good things they're giving you, does have a certain amount of balance. Like, the design team has done a very good job at balancing a card, not necessarily because of all these crazy contexts, but rather this card lets you do a thing. How good is that thing? Mm-hmm. We have determined that that thing is worth 2 energy. Mm-hmm. If it was 3 energy, it would be too much and the card wouldn't be worth it for this effect. To make that balance, let's go ahead and add something else. Add fear along with it, or the other way around.
You're just describing Raging Storm.
Maybe. Or take, for example, what happened to sea monsters. Regardless of your opinions on the matter, the value of the card did not match the cost of the energy when you consider what it does and what it can do. So, yes, mathematically, some cards may be better than other cards in the value that they are giving you. But honestly, it all boils down to this for me.
Okay.
The best card, or power if you want to say that, is simply the one that helps you the most in your current situation. And your current situation can change on a dime.
Right. It's all personal preference.
Right. My 11 could be my 7 in another game. I do another game. Right. My 1 could be a 15 in another game.
Yeah.
That being said, even though there are so many variables in play and so many contexts
like millions
to filter through,
yeah,
we all still yet, as humans,
have favorites?
Have our favorites.
Yeah.
Or favoreds. Maybe not favorite.
Better word.
But favored card.
Yeah.
We still have things that we like. Why? Because if you like control, you're going to like those cards that help you with that. Mm-hmm. If you like defense, you're probably going to like the cards that give you that.
And I think we'll notice that in our list of like what we tend to like as players or as people, like they might be a little bit higher on our list because
of that. Honestly, these kind of lists are fun because they can inform you about the person.
Yeah.
In a way.
Definitely.
So we're going to go ahead and talk about what these cards are.
Yeah, what are we even talking about here? What are these cards?
Yeah. And then we're going to reveal where they lie.
The rankings.
Yeah. So, John, why don't you go ahead and lead us off?
So, some quick fun facts.
Yeah, we like those.
17 out of 24 spirits have gift or boon cards. So, a big chunk of the spirits. The 7 that don't are Vital Strength of the Earth, Thunder Speaker, Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares, Sharp Fangs Beyond the Leaves, Stone's Unyielding Defiance, Grinning Trickster Stirs Up Trouble, and Fractured Day Split the Sky. So...
The obvious disclaimer is these are
not factoring in AIDS.
Not taking in AIDS into account.
there was a joke on our Discord where someone's like, the Fracture player's going to have so much fun with this episode. Oh. We're not going to talk about them at all.
Sorry, TFs.
Sorry, TFs. The most supportive spirit in the game, not mentioned.
Nice. Nice. It was so funny because when John sent me this list the first time, he had that fun fact at the very beginning, and he said 7 spirits that don't have any supporting powers are vital strength, bringer of dreams and nightmares, fractured, and I'm like, these aren't factoring in 8s, are they?
No.
Because gift of strength is amazing.
It's one of the best supportive nates
Spirits
in the game.
may yet dream is amazing. So yes. Those 7 spirits don't have any gift cards.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about cards exclusively.
See, I still don't get why Grinning Stricture utility bar is so high, because they don't have anything to do with support. I know there's more to utility than just supportive role. It's just funny to me in that way. I guess maybe Strife, or let's see what happens.
But Strife is defense, though.
Right.
Strife is defense.
That'd be a question, I think.
Utility could be
You're helping
wacky card interactions.
Yeah, like weird things happen.
Because it's not like you can look at the next event card or the next invader or fear card. It's not like...
It was just hard to quantify what Grinning Trickster is good at because they're so random.
That would be a fun question to ask someday.
It would be. Anyway.
Anyway, moving on. Let's go talk about the various cards in the game.
Let's talk about these 20 cards.
And they're amazing. So, first off, we have Gift of Proliferation.
Are we already at the ranking?
So,
Are we at a ranking bit?
Of course, all the veterans out there will know all these cards, but hey, it's always good to have a refresher of some of the details, and if you're not familiar with the game, it's very good just to hear a list of these awesome powers, because a lot of these are really great, and we reference them all the time. Gift of Proliferation. This is probably one of the most famous gift cards. It just costs 1 energy, it targets another spirit, and it allows the player to add 1 more presence from range 1 of where they already are.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's amazing. We've talked about it in the past, but we have a list of 19 other ones to get through, so we'll just go ahead and go on to the next one.
Next one is a downpour card called Gift of Abundance.
They're alphabetical, I swear.
Number 2. We swear it's alphabetical.
Or is it?
Okay, it is cost 1. It's a fast power. It has to target another spirit. And target spirit either gains 2 energy, nice, or may repeat 1 power card this turn by paying its cost. What?
So
What?
good. So good.
And there's more, Ryan. Either you or target spirit may add 1 destroyed presence to a wetland where you have presence. Oh, cool. You can bring back presence, too.
Each one of those things is so good. Each one of those
Any
3
option.
things. Right. Because not only are each of those effects really good in almost every situation, but it's flexible.
Yeah.
It
You can pick
give
what you
energy.
need. Yeah, what you
now,
need.
At first, you may think, 2 energy, that's not a whole lot. But you gotta remember, this is a card that you start with.
Yep, play
which
turn
means
1.
you can give energy right at the start.
Yep.
And when it comes to giving energy is universally at its best in the early game. Of course, if your spirit is one that struggles with energy, it'll be good there too. But just like across the board, always good to give energy early game. But then, repeating a power card, that's probably my favorite part about it.
It's unquantifiable what it can do.
Exactly, but repeating power cards is so dangerously valuable in this game. A lot of people are turned off by the fact that it says by paying its cost. There's literally one thing that lets you repeat without paying its cost.
And that's Earth.
And that's Earth. So it's like, remember, repeating a card by paying its cost, is the norm. It's not that this is bad because Earth can do it better. Earth's is amazing, and this is normal.
Yes.
And this, in its normal state, is phenomenal.
Good qualifier.
Furthermore, just find 0-costing cards.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Or even
find
1-costing.
0-costing cards, or 1.
Something cheap.
There's so many.
So many good ones.
So many good ones that are
Reaching
out there.
graphs twice? Wow.
And then you can just add a destroyed presence. Oh my goodness. To a wetland or where you have presence.
And downpour can make wetlands, so there you go. Easy peasy.
One of the things that was really interesting, I was going to make this comment later, but I may as well make it now.
Okay.
Is when we rank them, do we rank them on the effect exclusively? Or do we rank them with the effect of the fact that this card is in the game means that spirit is in the game? And therefore, if that spirit is in the game, that changes the context of its value.
Yes, the latter is how I rank it.
For instance, Absorb Essence is really good.
Because
Serpent Wakes and Power is in the game too.
Yes.
But then, is that to the credit of Absorb Essence? Or is that to the credit of Snake being in your game?
We'll have to see, because there's like that tug of war of like what's important,
Right.
or what do you value? I know!
Anyway, Gift of Abundance, great card.
Next one is a Finder card.
Ooh.
Traveler's Boon. So you can tell these are not ranked. I love Finder. This is not number 3.
literally was alphabetical.
It was alphabetical.
Not even kidding.
Yeah, so this is clearly not a ranking. I love Finder. I love this card, but it's not number 3 in the game.
But that is a coincidence.
Okay.
I assure you.
It is called Traveler's Boon. Cost 0. Great. Love 0 costing cards.
Mm-hmm.
It is a fast power. It targets another spirit. Description. Target spirit moves up to 3 of their presence to one of your lands. They may move 1 invader, keyword invader, 1 Dahan, and 1 beast along with their presence. Total, not for each presence.
Oh, that is so good.
Oh, so I can just move cities now. Cool.
Okay, first off, you can move cities. Oh, kaboom. Mind blown.
Yeah.
So insane right there.
And Dahan beast? How many
Was
times
that
can
a
you move?
0 costing card that moved cities?
Yeah.
Was that a 0?
A fast power that does that. A fast.
Fast.
It's fast, too.
And not only that, let's not ignore it says target spirit moves up to 3 presents from their board. It did not say push or gather. It said moves to one of your lands. Remember, you can literally teleport because of Finder's adjacency shenanigans.
Oh, yeah. Open the ways.
Bam.
There you go.
You read the word, move up to 3 of their presents. Like, okay, cool. That could literally be 17
And then you start
lands.
thinking about what that means, right?
Literally 10 lands. Or 6.
It's in,
Or 1. Like, it just, what?
Yeah, it's crazy. And what you can do with the 3 presents, because some spirits get stronger the more presents they have in the spots.
Yeah. And then up to 1 invader. First off, like we said, cities, that's baffling. But that means city, town, or explore. How many times have you found a control card? Be like, ow, man, I wish it could let me do towns.
Yes.
It only let me do explorers.
Or I wish it was fast.
Or I wish it were fast. This card, when it comes to control, is like arguably the most flexible thing in the world.
Yeah.
Because it's 0. Because it's fast.
Yeah.
It can go any distance. It can grab each invader and also every good guy.
It's like how you're describing, this card is good because of what Finder is.
Yes. I mean, it's the essence of movement. Find one thing it can't move.
You can't.
It's Blight.
Beast. Oh,
That is literally it.
Yeah, it moves beings. That's an
Literally-
old term.
Right, it's an old term.
Yeah.
But like, when you think about what is in the game, there's so many things in this game.
Yeah.
Blight is the only thing it doesn't move.
Right. It's crazy.
It moves your friends, your enemies, all the enemies.
Yeah.
Anywhere. All the good guys. What do you mean good guys? Oh, it moves the beasts and the Dahan. I guess you can say tokens, maybe
yeah,
wild.
no, I know
stuff.
what you're saying, though.
But
It
like,
moves a ton.
My point being, look at how much it moves.
Yeah.
It moves all the things that you would want to move.
It's the best supportive control card in the game.
So good.
What's next?
The next one is Flame's Fury. If you couldn't guess, this one comes from Wildfire. If you're wondering how the heck Wildfire got up here in the alphabetical order, it's because it's Heart of the Wildfire.
C-D-F-G-H-I-J-H-I-J-K.
Hey! Not that it matters, but if you haven't figured it out by now, we're going alphabetically through the spirits, not the powers.
Right.
Flame's Fury, another famous one. It is free, cost 0, it's fast, and it can go to anyone. It says that target spirit gains 1 energy. Not bad.
Nice.
And that spirit does +1 damage with every damage dealing power they use this turn. Oh, it is so good. We've talked about this card in the past, so we're not going to elaborate too much, but this is the famous damage boosting card. It is so good. The ramifications of being able to take the capability of killing an explorer only can now kill a town, or killing a town exclusively can now kill a city. It's huge.
And if you're a spirit that has multiple damage powers, say a mist or a river or something, you can amplify that per damage power.
It is huge. It sounds so simple, but let me remind you of the damage scale in this game. I've had many people say, really, +1? That's not much. We all understand that 1 is a very small number in life.
Yeah.
But remember the damage scaling in this game. 1 health, 1 explorer means 1 literal human being.
Yep.
2 health means a town. An entire populace of people is 2. And 3 is a city. A bustling metropolis of activity, trade, income, and all these things. And that's just 3 health.
Yeah.
Like, look at the big difference between 1 dude, there's Gary in the woods, then you have off to grandma's village we go, and then you have New York.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, I'm kind of exaggerating, but like as far as like those
but
last
like
terms
what
I said,
those
but like
numerical numbers mean
what
from 1,
the
2 to
numbers
3.
mean.
Yeah.
The difference between 1 to 2 is big, and from 2 to 3 is big. So getting +1 is a big deal.
And there's a lot of minors that are 2 damage.
Right.
Minor powers, 2
and
damage.
they start to behave a lot like majors.
When
Why?
you can take out
because
cities.
it's every one of your cards.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them. Not just one.
So that 2 damage with Flame Sphere becomes 3
Yep.
damage. Now I can take out cities
Yep.
from a minor power.
The base essence of why Badlands are good is
Yeah.
expressed here, but this one can't be used against you.
That's
The
true.
Badlands,
This is like pre-Badlands.
Yeah, this is a good Badlands.
Yeah.
Great card.
Next one is Boon of Growing Power from Keeper of the Forbidden Wilds. It is cost 1. It is a slow power. Target any spirit, which is nice. Keeper
Nice.
can target
Yep.
themselves. Description. It's a very simple card. Target spirit gains a power card.
Yep.
If you target another spirit, they also gain 1 energy. I've seen, because Laura plays Keeper a lot, she targets other people
Sure.
so that they can benefit from 1 energy.
Sure.
What's nice about this is it gains a power card. It's not restrictive
Yes.
to just minors, as some of these boon cards are. You can pick a major with this card.
Yep.
I like this one, but we'll get into it later. But yeah,
We'll talk about
it adds to your hand,
Sure.
and it could get you something that you need and 1 energy, like we said, from Flame Fury. Nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. Next one is Lightning's Boon.
The biggie, the bad boy.
And it comes from River Surges and... No, I'm kidding. It's in the name.
This is like the original best boon card.
Arguably, it is easily among the most famous and among the most recognizable boon cards in the game. We all know it well. Costs 1, it's fast, goes to anyone. Target spirit may use up to 2 slow powers as if they were fast.
And what's cool is this is, again, not restrictive. You can use majors, you can use innates,
Right.
any type of power you can make fast.
It's so nice. It's not bound to uniques, to minors, to majors.
And there's 2 of them.
It can even go on yourself,
Yeah.
which is really nice because some people are like, why would you ever want to use this card on yourself? Because Swiftness of Lightning means that you can go ahead and speed up your own cards innately anyway.
What if you don't have...
But what if you have diversified your hand to the point where you no longer have a ton of air this turn because of the elements that are coming from your cards this turn? Well, this card actually becomes useful for you.
Even with the wind aspect, you lose that special rule. So maybe you do need to target yourself with lightning.
It could be your only way to get fast.
Yeah.
So it's a way to retain your identity while having a flexibility of cards. Ramifications of this card are insane. They are simple to understand, but dangerous to underestimate.
And what's cool is everyone's probably played with this card in the game. Maybe their first game had this card involved. And it just made you like, oh, this is so cool. I can make this fast. I get to cheat in this way.
Yep.
Very good card.
Yep.
Next one is called Gift of the Untamed Wild. It's boring. I'm just kidding. Laura the Deep
We'll be seeing
Wilderness.
this one in like 15 plus, I guess.
It is cost 0, speed slow, target any spirit. I like any spirit targets. Description. Target spirit chooses to either add 1 wilds to one of their lands or replace one of their presents with 1 disease. Adding tokens always good.
Yep.
Wilds, disease always good.
Yep. And when it comes to the disease, you're replacing one of your presents. It's not the worst, but you have to remember this card is free. And disease is the most expensive token to
it isn't in the game.
place out there. So if the card is going to stay 0 and you can place disease, the cost has to come from elsewhere.
Right.
So
I just
it's
don't know
fair.
if it's worth it. We'll talk later.
We'll talk later. The next one is Boon of Swarming Bedevilment. Comes from Many Minds. It is a fast power that is free, and it targets specifically another spirit. So this means it can only go to Many Minds in solo play. Which you've already won. So
if you're playing solo, you've won with Many Minds.
It says, for the rest of this turn, each of target spirit's presence grants defend 1 in its land. Target spirit may push up to one of their presents. Not bad.
Not bad.
Honestly, it reminds me of Encompassing Ward.
Yes. Yes! I have that in my notes when we bring this up.
Yeah.
100% is almost identical to it.
Sure.
Every one of your presents grants defense. That's cool.
Yeah.
Stops blight.
And target spirit may push up to one of their presents. May seem like, but every
There's
now and
more
then, that's
there.
actually really good.
There's more there for sure. And you can sometimes stack defense then. Like I can make this defend 1, defend 2 now.
Yep.
Stop a city from making the land blight.
And there are so many ways you can use all these cards. But if you're wondering when's a good time to use it for the movement, because it's really easy to see for the defense.
Definitely.
You know,
like, oh, I'm about to blight here. Oh, here's defense. There you go.
Volcano, how many presents do I have in my land?
Yeah. That could be like a defend 10.
Right.
Land, yeah.
But for the control, keep your ears peeled for 2 things. Whenever you hear your friends complaining about about the fact that they're just one range away.
So close.
Or just simply, oh no, I'm a blight and I'm going to die this turn.
Mm-hmm.
I have this card.
Even if the defense doesn't help them, you can move their presence. Yep. That's good.
I got this card. I can get you out of there.
You can save them. There's another card like that can save from blight.
Hey.
Next one is called Tidal Boon. It is from Ocean's Hungry Grasp. Costs 1, speed slow, and it targets another spirit. Description, target spirit gains 2 energy.
That's nice.
And may push 1 town and up to 2 Tahan from one of their lands. This is fun. If Tahan are pushed into your ocean, you may move them to any coastal land instead of drowning them. I really like the lore of that. Are these like Tahan going surfing or something? Just like, hey, let's go to the other side of the island or swimming or I don't know. It's fun to think about thematically.
I can just see all the Tahan just being untouchable as all the invaders are dying. And what can I say besides you're welcome?
You're literally like jumping from A board to D board or something.
Right. This card is one of those ones that has significant value because of the implication of the spirit who owns this power's presence being in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
If Ocean isn't in there, think about the effect.
Push it down.
Okay. If Ocean's in play,
that town can turn into fear and energy for Ocean.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
This card has come up a lot because Laura just mains Ocean. So it's just like, we as a group know this card.
We know
very
this one.
well.
Yeah. We also know this next one.
Oh, boy!
Boon of Vigor. This is another famous one.
Never heard of it.
From River. It is a fast power, goes to anyone, costs 0, it is free. But you can target yourself, but it has a fun effect if you target someone else.
Definitely.
If you target yourself, gain an energy. Hey. If you target another spirit, they gain 1 energy per power card they played this turn.
Yeah.
This is the famous go-to energy-giving card.
Yeah.
You need money? Here you go. I got some for you. There are other cards that give energy that are also famous, but this one has more fame because it's been around since the start. And since River is a character who is a low complexity, it is quite possible that you've had this card in your very first game.
Yeah, like Lightning's Boon.
Yep.
This one card, when we did our All-Star series, this literal one card got River onto the top 5. Just for having this card, it's like, oh, I can dish out energy basically every turn.
Yeah.
And it makes you focus on that bottom track more, which is fun. Some spirits have 5, 6 card plays, even 4 card plays. Getting 4 energy in a turn is insane. It can make you from a minor power user to a major power user, just like
Seriously.
that. It basically saves Lightning's woes because Lightning is so
and it
dependent.
varies from spirit to spirit.
It does.
But energy is just one of those things where it's kind of like wilds and disease.
You'll use
no matter where it goes, it will always be useful.
It'll get used up.
It will get used, and you will be happy that you had it. Literally everywhere.
And we'll talk about it more as it comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is Gift of the Primordial Deeps. It is from Serpent, cost 1, speed fast, and it has to target another spirit. Description, target spirit gains a minor power. Target spirit chooses to either play it immediately by paying its cost, or gain 1 moon, 1 earth. Another one simple card.
Not bad. Honestly, like some people may hear the fact,
minor.
You just said the word, minor power.
I can't get
not
majors.
A fan. Honestly, that's not so bad.
It's not.
There is such a value to minor powers, and don't forget, you can get this card early. Very early.
I like the gamble this card has. Like, ooh, maybe I'll get something I want and I can add to my hand right away or add to my play this turn. I can play it immediately.
The real power for me is immediately playing it by paying its cost.
It's an extra card play.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Think about finding a minor power that's 0 cost.
Yeah.
It immediately enters play.
There you go.
It immediately enters play.
And you have such a high chance of pulling a 0 costing minor. There's a bunch of them in the deck.
Imagine grabbing Rain of Blood or Sap the Strength of Multitudes.
Instant defense or 3 fear right away.
Right, or Drift Down into Slumber or Land of Haunts and Embers.
More fear, more control. I even like that maybe you don't have energy. You were hoping for a 0 costing card. You get a bunch of 1s. You're like, ugh. It's not the worst thing because you gain elements and you get to add it to your hand for next turn. Maybe those elements are helpful. Maybe you need a moon.
The thing that's so cool is even if it quote-unquote misses with what we just described, you didn't find a 0 costing card. Well, here's the cool thing. You just got a power, which means that you won't have to reclaim as early as you would normally do if you didn't do this card.
Preach.
But you also get some elements on the side. So it has a safety net, maybe not the same value, of, hey, if it missed, cool. We still got you here.
Yep.
There are a lot of cards in here that can miss, and they don't provide any consistent fallback plan B.
Yeah, I like the safety net.
I mean, heck, Terror level 1 fear cards. There's no plan B. If it missed, it missed.
Sometimes they
Event
often
cards,
miss.
they can miss a lot too.
Yeah.
This one can't miss. Sure, even that safety net, that plan B, may not be the most applicable thing. You gain a moon and an earth. Maybe you don't use those. That's fine. But my point being is it has something to compensate even if it misses. And that's cool. The next one, Gift of Flowing Power, also comes from Serpent.
Hey.
Costs 1 and it's fast. LOL, every single thing that they do is fast. Except for their innate powers, but we're not talking about those.
Nope.
Target spirit gains 1 energy. Then that spirit chooses to either play another power card by paying its cost or gain a fire and a water element.
Love this one.
In a similar way to that last one, you gain an effect and then
You get to choose.
You get to choose something, which means this one also has a plan B if it misses.
Which I love.
This one gives fire and water, and the thing that's cool about that is that most of the time, fire and water are in opposition.
I was thinking that. I like that they're opposites. You'll either be a water spirit, or maybe you are earth using fire spirit, like
sure,
Volcano.
there are some that have both fire and water, but point being, statistically, if you miss on one, you'll probably get that other one.
Shadows doesn't use water. Oh, I use fire though. Exactly.
And each one of these allows you to play another card by paying its cost. So you have very much like a Fractured Days kind of feel of getting an additional card play out there. And getting another card play out there
Unlocks
is phenomenal.
so much, Ryan. So much.
Just think about Downpour. Yeah, they are phenomenal, but they only get 1 card play for a while.
Yeah.
So get a second one really quick.
Or a third one. Imagine. It's insane.
And they love Unbearable Deluge, which is a 0-costing card, so they can save some of their energy by just repeating that one. Yes, it costs energy to repeat stuff, but since it's a 0-costing card, it's not as costly to do that one. So sometimes, if you go like a hybrid track or a top track, certainly a top track, Downpour would appreciate this.
Because you're so focused on, like you said, 1 card play. And I like that this doesn't restrict you. You can play any power card, major or minor, unique. And I like that it gives you 1 energy.
Yeah.
Because maybe maybe you used all your money for this turn, but you still have some cards left. It gives you 1 energy, so maybe you can play that minor that costs 1. And then it just allows for so much. I do like Flowing Power.
What I like to do Flowing Power and Primordial Deeps at the same time.
Oh, that's cool.
On the same player.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because one of them says they gain an energy.
Yep.
The other one says that they can gain a minor power, and they can play it immediately by paying its cost. Well, I can give you some energy if the one that you found was maybe 1 cost.
Yeah.
You can actually get 2 card play.
No, that's a fun stack, for sure.
So, like, I can give you plus 2 card play, and you're getting another card.
Yep. No, it's great.
It's kind of nice.
Last one for Serpent. Not the last one in the list. It is Absorb Essence. Cost 2. Speed fast and it targets another spirit. Description. Gain 3 energy. And Serpent is gaining 3 energy for that. Move 1 of target spirit's presence from the board or the island to your deep slumber track. Nom, nom, nom. Absorb presence cannot be returned to play. Target spirit gains 1 element, and that's any element, and 1 energy. So this is the one you were talking about, like, this is good because of what it unlocks.
This is the one, yeah.
It's like, this one is fine.
Effect is conditionary on what it means.
Right. Because, like, 1 energy and 1 element, never bad, right?
Oh, yeah.
Always good.
Now, the thing that's really big, that's actually really nice, is it's any element.
You get to choose.
Before, it was either moon or earth, or it was water, fire. This one's any.
Pick whatever you need.
That can be huge.
Sometimes you're 1 element away.
How many times have you heard a friend say,
I'm so
can
close.
anyone give any elements or something? Is anyone out there have that capability
That's why
right now?
I love Bringer in the game, because sometimes I just need 1.
You can literally
Just
be
1.
one away.
Even for a major, I'm like, I'm just 1 water away from this major.
This is why I keep telling players to not sleep on Shifting Memory, or more importantly, don't sleep on Boden, Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares.
Yeah.
Because spirits may yet dream, so simple, but it is so good.
It's so easy for Bringer to trigger that.
Gain
innate.
1 element that you have already.
It's really quick for them to get to 3 moon, because moon's on their top track, and they're all of their cards. It's
You know how much shadows like that?
all the time in my 1 element away, I'm just like, 1 more, and you're to fire.
The expressions that just flashed on your face first was, LOL, that's hilarious,
But like,
laughter comedy, and then it went to, oh my word.
because it happens so many times in our games, like, oh man, I can't get
1
it.
away.
1 away.
1 away. Oh, we're gonna blight. Literally, if I had 1 more element, I could have solved it.
I could have defended here, or 1 extra thing. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
You are losing a presence, but we all know what you're gaining from that lost presence.
And this card is giving Serpent 3 energy.
Yep.
It's spiking them.
Yep.
Which is so great.
Very
Some
helpful.
characters have an energy spike that isn't that high. And that's nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Next one, Mantle of Dread,
Hey.
comes from Shadows.
Woo-woo.
It's a slow power, and it can go to any spirit, costs 1 energy. First off, 2 fear. Never bad.
Mhm.
Target spirit may push 1 explorer and 1 town from a land where it has presence.
I've seen you use this masterfully when you've played as Amorphous.
With Amorphous, I love this one.
This card would jump up in the tier list with Amorphous.
Honestly, for me, my favorite thing about this card is that it is a fear-generating card that doesn't require any targets. Sometimes, and it's not so bad, you'll find a card that generates fear. You're like, cool, fear-generating card. But it has to go in a land that has a city, or maybe a
some type
town,
of invader.
or invaders. Late game, your land is clear. Lure was on the field, so nothing was alive.
But we need fear.
But I can only do this fear-generating card if there's a bad guy there. But there's nobody there.
Yeah.
This one literally doesn't matter if there's people there or not, because you're not targeting a land, you're targeting someone.
You're targeting spirits. I also like that this isn't an or. Sometimes powers are like, you get to generate fear or move something. You get to do this or that. You are generating fear and pushing people. So that's nice.
And it's a get off my lawn card.
Yeah, you're probably saving a spirit from blighting.
Because push an explorer and a town from a land where that spirit has presence.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, you don't walk into the fire, normally.
Unless you're like
a
an
very
earth,
specific spirit or you know what you're going for.
Yeah.
But when do bad guys coexist with you? When they came to you, most of the time. Not when you went to them. Sure, that's possible. Sure, that happens. But usually when they come to you. So if you don't want them to come to you, you'll be like, get off my lawn.
Maybe you want to stop a city build so you get to push this town out here now. Yeah, it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is Elemental Boon. Elemental Teachings. Same card. Shifting Memory has this card. Cost 0, speed fast, target any spirit. Description, prepare 1 element marker. Very nice. Discard up to 3 element markers. Target spirit gains those elements. They can be any combination of elements. The same or difference. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. It's better than Elemental Boon because you can stack. Elemental Boon has to be one of each. Yeah, one different one. This one can do any sort of number in an element. Love this one.
What's cool about this one is even if Shifting Memory wasn't banking elements, you can at least give 1. Because you immediately prepare 1, then you discard 3. So even if you didn't have any to begin with, let's say you had 0. Well, at least you gain 1 immediately, then you can give it.
Or you didn't have the exact one that they need. You can prepare this fire and give them that fire.
Oh, having this on speed dial is so nice.
Yeah, exactly. Starting with Elemental Boon? Are you kidding me? I fished for that card in the minors.
So good.
It's
Remember
amazing.
what we said about people complaining about, hey, can anyone give elements by any chance? This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. This and Spirits May Yet Dream.
Yeah. I like what you said about don't sleep on Shifting Memory. So true because of the powers that they can do just with this. And this is only one of their boon cards.
Yeah. Yeah. Their next one, Boon of Ancient Memories, another famous one. It's slow and it costs 1, but what it does is insane.
Yeah.
You can target anyone with it. It's one of those ones, once again, where if you target yourself, it does one thing, but if it targets someone else, it does something else.
Kind of like Boon of Vigor.
Sure. If you target yourself, gain a minor power.
Not bad.
Not bad, honestly.
Adding
yes,
to your
this
hand.
character is defined by their majors that they can use, but getting minor powers, there's certain minor powers that have effects that can only be done from that card.
And no spirit can only play majors.
Right. And this
all the
allows
time.
you to stay away from growth option 2.
Yeah.
And with them, trust me, you'd rather be doing option 3 a lot more than 2.
Definitely.
But if you target someone else, target spirit gains a power card, but if they choose a major, they may pay 2 energy and they get to forego forgetting a power card.
The only unique that can do this.
Oh.
It's insane.
Oh, this is so big.
Yeah.
Getting a major without having to forget something.
Yes.
Oh, that is so nice.
You don't get to lose who you are, your identity.
That means that someone can go for a early major.
Yes.
Majors a lot earlier than when they thought they would.
Turn 1, 2, or 3. Very early major. Yeah.
Really good. Very simple. Very simple. They have to pay 2 energy for it, but you'll talk.
Yeah. It could be worth it, honestly.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Almost every time. It could be a turn 1. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Because
I'm going for it.
They're not ravaging on turn 1.
Yeah.
So I can just go for a major immediately and just pay some money for it.
Yeah.
I still have my unique hands. And, oh, hey, look at that. I just found Unrelenting Growth.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely worth it.
Ooh, the next one, flowing in silent forms dart by, comes from my boy, Shroud of Silent Mist.
My boy.
Now, this is one of those ones that's also kind of funny because this card is really good in my mind, but one of the reasons why it's so good
I'm just kidding. It is good.
because of the elements it gives.
Oh.
But that's not why it's so good as a gift, is it? But this is what I had to wrestle with in my mind.
I like the description of it, too. I like what it does, definitely. The actions it provides.
It's fast and it's free.
Nice.
Trust me, Shroud loves the fact that it's free. Now, like I said, it gives moon, air, water. For the purposes of Mist, oh my goodness, they love this card.
Yep,
and so this effect will be given out to the team pretty much all the time because of that.
Because you need those elements.
Thankfully, it's kind of like Mantle of Dread.
What does it do?
It gives 2 fear if invaders are present. Now, it's not as reliable as fear as far as, oh, you can just do 2 fear, period. You do need invaders, but it's just a fear farm.
And even fast fear.
Yeah. The fact that it's range 0, but fear if invaders are present, don't forget, you can move 1 every time you cast a power with this character. So I know it says range 0, but in effect, it really is range 1.
Yeah, for Mist, that doesn't matter.
So you are spreading wide with this character. If any one of your presence is within range 1 of any bad guy, then you got it. So yes, has some strings attached, but it's so easy.
Okay.
So easy. Anyway, 2 fear if invaders are present. Not bad. Fear farm. When presence in target land would be destroyed, its owner may, if possible, push that presence.
And there you go.
Then you may gather 1 presence or sacred site of another spirit.
I'm sorry, what?
With their permission, of course.
Thank you for asking.
Wow, lots to unpack here. First off, when presence in target land would be destroyed. It didn't say 1 presence, or 2, or 3.
Presence plural.
Any amount of presence.
Yeah.
Which means any amount of friends. There's 3 friends in here. Stone's not here. And we just blighted. That's fine.
Volcano's got their tower in here.
Right. Now, of course, with them, it says, if possible, so let's just hope that there's an adjacent mountain.
That's true.
And sometimes that happens. There are mountains that are adjacent to each other. But just in that specific instance with Volcano, let's hope there's another mountain nearby. But when any amount of presence would be blown up, you can shove it instead.
Huge.
That is so good. You can accidentally, and I've done this before, make a sacred site for a friend. Where do you want to push it? You know what? I'm going to push it here. I wasn't planning on this, but we'll roll with the punches. I'll make a sacred site
Which
here.
Is never bad.
Bam. Now it's a wetland.
Yeah.
If I was downpour or something like that.
Exactly.
Or if I'm river, bam. Now I can do massive flooding nearby.
Because I'm in a wetland.
Because I made a sacred site.
Yeah.
You can save your friends from dying.
Which is a loss condition. Losing enough presence in the game, you lose the game. You are saving a loss condition.
You can benefit yourself from this, and not just from the elements. It's fast, which is really good for the Matrix dodge, but its effect is good for the Matrix dodge. But then you can gather a presence or a sacred site of another spirit.
Yeah, isn't that
I'm
cool?
sorry, is this fast? Hey, Earth, let me grab that Defend 3 and bring it in real quick.
Yeah.
Yoink! It's so good. But there is one thing that is amazing about this card that you may not think of at first.
The first read?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think it's arguably its most valuable thing.
Oh.
And that is, it removes the penalty from effects that are so strong that their balance is to lose a presence. For instance, Growth Through Sacrifice. Destroy one of your presence. Nope.
Guess not.
Green. You have to destroy a presence from your sacred site to do this effect of yours.
Guess not.
Nope. If Mist is in the game and plays this card, Green can do their special and destroy a presence to prevent a build or a ravage and keep the presence.
If presence would be destroyed.
Because you just triggered Flowing in Silent Forms dart by. It was about to die, but you said, nope, and you get to keep it.
And like you said, Mist will play this often, so this power come up a lot. Because it's 0 costing as perfect elements. So it's not like you're never going to see this power.
Sure.
It's amazing, and it will come up a lot.
Now, even on Downpour's case, they have the ability to get their own presence back, and Volcano can too.
Yeah.
But you can still play this card on those characters.
Oh, yeah.
So that they can keep their presence in play, which means they can immediately do what they just did another time without having to pay for it. So you can stall the negative aspect of that, even if that character could get it back anyway. It just improves the efficiency.
Maybe I should put it higher on my list. Nah, it's okay.
But do you see what I mean about, like, it's not something you may think about at first because it doesn't say that on the card?
It's like Boom is Swarming Bedevilment. There's like more layers to the card than at first read, for sure.
But it's good.
Next one is Boon of Reimagining. Ooh. It comes from Starlight. Cost 1, speed, slow. Targets any spirit.
I know you like this one.
I love this one so much. Target spirit may forget a power card from hand or discard. If they do, draw 6.
Ooh.
6 minor power cards.
So good.
And gain 2. Not
that
just even just
huge.
1. If you target another spirit, they also gain 1 energy.
That is so strong for multiple reasons.
Definitely one of my favorites in the game. I like all these cards. I like being able to gain, like we've been talking about, you're adding to your hand, adding to your power deck, stretching out that reclaim, and being able to pick 2 feels like cheating. I like that you don't even have to do that. You could just gain 1 energy if you don't want to discard cards. It could just be a 1 energy gain power. And this is also very good for Starlight too, because you are adding to your hand, because as we know about Starlight, your hand kind of goes away. You kind of need to add to that hand. So it's a perfect card for Starlight. It's a great support card for the team. You are fishing through those minor powers to get the growth through sacrifice. So like being able to pull from 6 is insane, and then get to keep 2 of them. So it'll probably be higher on my list than people expect. I'll say that.
One of the reasons why I really like this card, first off, getting more power cards, insane. If you're lightning, Raging Storm, bye! And you can
delay that reclaim too.
Delay that reclaim.
That reclaim loop.
The number of cards you're getting is great. Energy, also great. But there's 2 things in particular that I really, really like here. First off, I love cards that can play off of themselves. And here, it says that you can gain all these cool power cards if you forget one from your hand or discard. Well, the kind of cards that you want to forget are probably ones that you don't mind losing.
Definitely.
So, since you're gaining 2, you can go and intentionally grab one that's, pretty bad, because then you can play this one again.
Yeah.
And you can keep in mind this card coming in again. You see how it plays off of itself?
And I can forget this for the next time.
For the next time that you're doing it. In the same way that Pent-Up Calamity does that. It's a card that uses tokens as ammo, but then it reloads itself.
Yep.
That's a card that's great for repetitious play.
Definitely.
And this one in that way too. But probably for me, the thing I like most about this card is when you're drawing 6 and gaining 2, it's so much better. I would prefer this than just simply gain 2 power cards.
Okay.
Like Thunderspeaker has.
Yeah.
Because, you see, doing draw 4, pick 1 twice is not the same
you're missing
as
out.
Pick 8, grab 2. Here's why. How many times have you gone for a new power?
Yeah.
You drew 4, and you like all 4.
Oh, yeah, at least 2.
You like 3 of them.
Ryan, it's happened every game.
You like 2 of them.
It's happened every game.
Sometimes you like none of them. Sometimes you like 1 of them, and it's easy. Cool, fine.
A lot of the time, I at least like 2.
So many times.
Yeah.
It's like, I really want both of these.
I want this effect, but I want these elements.
This
one's
power
cheap, but I need this for now.
allows you to do that.
Yeah, you get to pick both.
It's not...
It's the only one that you can do that.
Right. And in Thunderspeaker's case, it's not, like we said, pick 8, draw 2. Because what if, in that instance, you drew 8, and the 2 that you wanted were the first 2 that you drew?
Right, you can only pick
Technically, of those first 2, you have to pick from your first selection of 4 and your second selection of 4.
That is correct. That's
and
how
it
you
just
play.
Feels like, no, I really like that card.
2 that you like, you get to pick both of them.
And that, I think, is what I like the most
Me
in
too.
this card.
It's very good.
So good.
Next one is Fiery Vengeance from who to guess? Vengeance is a burning plague.
Well, no, Taco Bell. Right?
Oh. Enter Fart Noise here. Cost 0. Speed fast. It targets any spirit. Usually it's vengeance. Description. Cost to use. Target spirit removes one of their destroyed presence from the game. So you have to have destroyed presence in the game. 1 fear and 1 damage in one of a target spirit's lands. This is your power speaking to vengeance. So blight counts as bad lands, even if target is another spirit. This is very situational.
I gave you the floor.
Yes. So, good in the early game for Vengeance. We'll talk about this quite early because it'll be lower on our list for both of us.
I think this card is phenomenal once the board has been set.
Yes.
Because
and
that's
phenomenal for Vengeance.
Yeah, specifically. And they bit damage.
Yep.
And when they have the board set with, look at these blight on the board.
And they want their presence destroyed.
Right. There's blight on the board.
Mm-hmm.
There's badlands that they found.
I have destroyed
There's
presence.
disease on the board.
Yep.
So many damage amps.
Yep.
This card was made for damage amps. If you look at it and you don't apply the context of who it belongs to, you would say this card is awful.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
But it fits
you
the kit.
need to be aware of who it belongs to.
What's interesting is usually for zero costing powers, you want to play them early because, like you said, you don't have a lot of energy in the early game. What's tricky is you can't really target another spirit because most spirits don't start with destroyed presence in the game.
And it is a knife's edge strategy.
It is.
But here's the thing. You're automatically going to have ammo by the end of the game when you should be using it because they've been killing you the whole time. No, they haven't been killing you because you're a bad player. They've been killing you because you've chosen to let them kill you.
This is the route you've taken.
That's a good thing. That's the route you have taken.
But we're describing this as like a benefit for vengeance solely. This is it's hard to like plan around this as a team.
I'm trying to establish the context of when we have said the words, it is way too lucrative to die. We've said that in the past. This is one of the reasons why.
Vengeance is the exception.
You get ammo. Furthermore, I want to encourage people to not be afraid of this character because one of your best strategies sets itself up.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything but just die.
Yeah.
Sit there.
Grow.
Get killed. It will provide you.
Spam your double growth.
Right.
Yep.
Like silver linings, pros and cons. Cons, a lot more blight out there. And for most spirits, that could be a con. Pro, your game plan, how you play this spirit, it automatically sets you up on the path that you need to be on in order to make the spirit work. You need to have blight out there. You need to have disease out there. You need to have ammo for this card. Just die, all of those things happen for you automatically.
Ray has a guide on BGG for Vengeance because Ray plays Vengeance a lot. And basically mains the spirits. They talked about how scaling is so important. You just want to get your presence out there.
Yep.
Obviously, you want to play cards, and you want to do some things. You can skip Ravage actions. But you just want to grow, lose presence, like you said, get those disease out there. You're all about, like you said, setting the board. That is more important than the island states. Isn't it hard to, like, wrap your mind around that?
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's not how
It's different,
No other spirit plays like this, honestly.
But let's not forget these solo playthroughs copyrighted. Eric loves you, Blight.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously.
Love you, Greg. It helps this character a lot.
Yeah. Blight's a resource, and Vengeance uses it. Bring us home with the last one.
Alrighty. The last one. Exaltation of Molten Stone. Comes to us from Volcano. It has to target another spirit, and that's fine because once you hear how it works, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Split one energy per fire element that you have between yourself and target spirit as evenly as possible. Target spirit gains +1 range with their powers that originate from a mountain.
I like that this is a twofold, right? You get energy and range.
This card costing 1, Volcano can afford it all the time.
Fire elements?
This is Jagged Earth's most go-to and consistent energy-giving card.
This is Jagged Earth's Boon of Vigor.
It's Jagged Earth's Boon of Vigor.
Yeah.
It's not water, but it's lava.
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite.
It's the opposite.
It gives energy, and they're going to have fire out the wazoo. For a long time, it's going to be 1 and 2 energy that it's
grows.
Giving, and
it
that's
stacks.
Fine. Thankfully, it says as evenly as possible. So every now and then, it's going to be
3 fire, Ryan.
one of those instances where one of you gets 1, one of you gets 2. Pick.
Yeah, who needs
Give
it the most?
your friend the one that needs it more.
Yeah, maybe they need more than you.
Cool. You have a very good reclaim cycle that gets you energy just fine. So usually your friends need it. It's very consistent that it gives energy.
Great card.
But it gives range.
Oh, it's like a mini reaching grasp.
Oh.
Nice. That gives energy.
Yes, you have to be on a mountain, but this has dangerous potential.
Quick tip. If Volcano's in your game, grow to a mountain.
Literally, it is as simple as have 1 presence on a mountain at all times. Seriously, do it. Ocean loves this.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's subtle, have at least 1. And of course, you have to have a coastal mountain, but it can work.
It can.
And how many times have you played as Ocean? You're like, haha, I'm going to drown. No, I can't.
So close. Or even Wildfire, a lot of like 0 range damage. A lot of spirits. Downpour, 0 range damage.
Range 2 to 3 isn't that big of a deal. Range 1 to 2, not the biggest deal. But range 0 to range 1.
Huge.
Same mathematical value, but the implicational value is huge.
Because so much balancing goes into making it range 0. Strong
if
card.
something is range 0, that means you have to be there.
Which means it's
Which
dangerous.
means it's dangerous. That's part of its balance.
Yeah.
Which means if you have a range 0 card that's being boosted to 1, you now can do this strong card in complete safety.
Yeah.
Complete
You don't have to be there
safety.
anymore.
Yep. Or, and of course, if you had a long range power, it's even farther.
Yeah.
And that's never bad.
One of my favorite defend cards is from the base game, Quick in the Ear Struggles.
Mhm.
Defend 10. But
Yep.
you need to be there. It's a range 0, which is risky and has to be a sacred site.
Yep.
With this power, I don't have to have my sacred site amongst 10 damage anymore. It's awesome.
It's great. So good. Think of Sap the Strength of Multitudes.
Love that card.
Another great defense card, but it's range 0. Sure, if you have enough air elements, you can make it range 1, but with this, you can make that range 2.
Yeah.
Or if you didn't have enough air elements, you can now act as if you did.
As a river player, I pull Sap aloud. I'm like, it's a water card.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I don't have any air in my hand or on my tracks or nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, now I can do +1 range. Yep. Great card.
It's so good, and adding +1 range seems like a small thing, but the fact that you can get it consistently, sure, comes from a mountain. That's so easy. Just go to a mountain.
Let's go to a mountain.
Just go to a mountain.
If
there is a mountain on your board,
yes,
and you will have 2, if you're on the balance side, you can make this work.
If Volcano is in your game, maybe I should grow to a mountain.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Nike, just do it.
Those are the 20 powers.
Those are the 20. I'm so eager to hear and see where they all lie.
How do they land?
Exactly. So, we're going to figure that out next time. Until then, I've been Ryan.
And I'm John.
Catch you on the flippity flip.
Peace out.
Hey, John.
What's up?
Why did the chicken cross the road?